Every man thinks he knows what women want: the expensive watch, the car, the status. But what if I told you there are 6 traits that pull her in deeper than any paycheck ever could? These traits are not loud. They're not on display. But when a man embodies them, she feels it instantly. Not in her mind, in her body, in her breath, in her attraction. And the most dangerous men alive, playboys, mystics, stoic kings, they all know one truth. Women crave more than money. They crave meaning, power, presence. And these 6 traits silently unlock all of that. If you're tired of surface-level advice, if you want to know what makes women lean in, trust, desire, and never forget you, this video is for you. We're not here to impress with tricks. We're here to embody power. Not the kind that flashes, but the kind that feels like gravity. And when you support this channel, you're not just helping us grow. You're helping thousands of men become grounded, desirable, and finally free from confusion. Let's begin. Number 1. Directional confidence. Why men with vision win desire. There is a powerful shift that occurs in the presence of a man who knows where he's going. Women can feel it in his body language, in his tone, in the way he moves through a room. Not hurried, not aimless, but with a quiet intensity that signals something rare: purpose. Most men walk through life reacting to the world. They drift, they adapt, they hesitate. But a man with directional confidence isn't waiting for life to tell him what to do next. He already knows. His goals are not random. His values are not negotiable. His energy isn't scattered. He is built on intention. And that intention frames his masculinity. Women don't fall for loud ambition or surface-level declarations of confidence. They fall for the quiet certainty of a man who doesn't explain his mission, he embodies it. When she senses that you are not wandering, but building, she automatically recategorizes you. You're no longer just another guy. You're now a force she can feel. Why does this matter so deeply? Because female attraction isn't primarily visual. It's directional. A woman's biology is wired to detect leadership energy. That doesn't mean control or domination. It means clarity. When you possess an inner compass that points to something beyond her, your craft, your mission, your legacy, she experiences you as safe to follow. This doesn't mean ignoring her or becoming emotionally unavailable. It means you are anchored in your own path, and she becomes part of that journey, not the destination. And that difference is what creates magnetic pull. Here's how to begin embodying directional confidence in your life. Write your vision. Where are you going in 6 months? In 3 years? What are you building? Who are you becoming? Cut distractions. Directional confidence is diluted by chaos. Remove habits, people, or inputs that blur your clarity. Act with rhythm, rituals, and discipline. Build internal stability. Directional men don't wait for motivation. They create momentum. This energy also affects your communication. You don't over-explain. You speak in calm, short, intentional statements. When she asks where you're headed, you say it once, without needing approval. When you set a boundary, you enforce it, without emotion. When you ask her out, you're not seeking validation. You're offering an experience. And most importantly, you never rush. Rushing is for men who aren't sure what they're doing. Directional men pace. They create space with their tone, timing, and attention. They are not in a hurry to be chosen because they're already choosing their path. And women feel this on a deep biological level. A man with vision triggers both curiosity and safety in her. Curiosity, because he's unpredictable in the best way. Safety, because his decisions aren't reactive. His energy is not random. He's held by something greater than her. And when she feels that, she doesn't just get attracted. She starts imagining herself inside your world before you ever invite her in. Because in a world full of noise, the man with direction becomes her quiet obsession. Number 2. Social fluidity. Being liked by others equals instant trust. To desire a man alone is a question mark. A man admired by others is an answer. Women are biologically wired to assess social cues. Thousands of years of evolution have trained the female nervous system to scan the environment quickly. Is this man accepted? Trusted? followed? If others respect you, her subconscious begins to do the same before you even speak. This doesn't mean being the center of attention. It means being the center of gravity in any room. A man who walks into a space and is met with friendly eyes, warm greetings, and subtle nods doesn't need to introduce himself. His social proof speaks first. Why does this matter? Because a woman watching you in a social setting learns more about you in 3 minutes of observation than in 30 minutes of conversation. If you're relaxed, others are relaxed. If you're respected, others mirror that. If people want to be around you, she feels safe considering it too. Social fluidity isn't about networking. It's about emotional fluidity in masculine form, knowing how to hold a space without needing to dominate it. Now, let's talk practice. When you enter a room, skim slowly but acknowledge others early. If someone's speaking, listen first. Respond second. Then, redirect attention to others. Master small social rituals, eye contact, presence, timing your replies. Don't match the loudest energy in the room. Match the strongest one. And listen to this carefully. The next time you're in a group setting with a woman nearby, do nothing to chase her attention. Instead, engage others with presence. Let her observe your value through their eyes. Because when women see you socially fluid, graceful under pressure, kind to strangers, and grounded in your presence, they feel something powerful. If others love him, maybe I could too. That's not logic. That's primal recognition. And it unlocks desire faster than any compliment, gift, or clever line ever could. Always remember, a woman sees how others treat you as a direct reflection of how you'll treat her once the mask is off. When she sees others laugh with you, respect you, or even just feel safe around you, her system begins to trust your masculine frame. Her defenses drop. Because women don't just want a man for them. They want a man who knows how to move in the world with poise, grace, and control. Be liked without effort. Be seen without shouting. Be respected without needing to prove it. That's how she sees you before you even look at her. Number 3. Grounded humor. Why making her laugh isn't the goal. Being rooted is every man wants to make a woman laugh. And yet most men fail. Not because they aren't funny, but because their humor comes from need. The moment she senses that you're trying to entertain, impress, or win her approval through comedy, the attraction begins to fade. It might create a smile. It might earn a chuckle, but it doesn't pull her in. Why? Because it lacks the one ingredient that actually creates desire: grounding. Grounded humor is different. It doesn't try to be funny. It doesn't chase. It doesn't perform. It comes from a man who is already complete. A man who isn't trying to use laughter as a shortcut to intimacy, but who knows how to create emotional depth through lightness, timing, and energy. When you make her laugh from that place, not anxious, not forced, but rooted, it does something special to her nervous system. It tells her, this man isn't afraid. He's at ease. He owns his space. He's playful, but powerful. And that combination? That's magnetism. Think of the most charismatic, grounded men you know. They don't fire off one-liners. They make small, subtle observations. They tease gently. They're comfortable letting the moment breathe. They don't panic in silence. They inhabit it. That's what grounded humor teaches her, that you are not dependent on her response, that her approval doesn't shape your self-worth, that you're present, not performing. This is critical, because women are not attracted to a man who's trying to manage their emotions. They're attracted to a man who is anchored in his own. Here's how to build grounded humor. Practice holding silence after you make her laugh. Don't fill the gap. Let it hang. Let her feel your steadiness. Tease softly, but stay calibrated. Gentle irony. Flirt through insight, not insults. Be playful, but precise. Use facial expression more than words. A slow smile, a raised eyebrow, or still eye contact is 10 times more attractive than a punchline. Don't correct her if she doesn't laugh. Stay neutral. She will remember the moment, not the joke. Remember this. Laughter isn't the end goal. It's the side effect of your emotional power. It's how she tests whether you are safe to be feminine around, whether you'll fold under pressure, whether you're light without losing strength. And the men who master this, they don't just make her laugh. They make her feel held. Because grounded humor is the sound of a man whose spirit isn't shaken by silence. It's the way tension becomes play. It's the way trust becomes breath. And when she feels it, her body relaxes. Her mind opens. And her attraction becomes effortless. Number 4. Consistency as seduction. The long-term rhythm women melt into. Most men don't realize that seduction isn't in the spark. It's in the rhythm. Attraction doesn't deepen through grand gestures. It doesn't multiply through gifts or poetic words. It builds when a woman realizes something rare and grounding. You are consistent. This doesn't mean robotic. It doesn't mean emotionless. It means you are emotionally reliable. It means your energy doesn't change with her moods. It means that when she reaches for you, whether with warmth or with fire, you're there, not fluctuating, not reactive. Because when she feels that steadiness, something incredible happens. Her nervous system lets go. And that's when desire truly begins. Women are biologically designed to test masculine consistency, not maliciously, but instinctively. She needs to know, can I trust him? Will he be stable through my chaos? Is his energy a pattern or a performance? The man who passes this test doesn't do it through control. He does it through calm rhythm. Think about music. The most powerful songs don't scream at you. They create a consistent pulse, a beat you can relax into, move with, lose yourself inside. That's what your presence becomes when it's built on consistency. She begins to feel you even when you're not speaking. She starts to anticipate your energy. She doesn't have to wonder, will he still be the same man tomorrow? Because you've already shown her. And that emotional safety creates space for emotional surrender. Here's how to embody it. Follow through every time, even with small promises. If you say you'll call, call. If you say you're busy, stay busy. Let your words and actions mirror. Keep your tone level when she's emotional. Don't match her intensity. Match your own integrity. Respond with timing, not urgency. Don't rush replies to keep her hooked. Reply when you're clear. Let your energy be deliberate. Set boundaries once, and hold them without emotion. A boundary that bends under pressure is worse than no boundary at all. Consistency also means you don't use affection as a reward. You give it when it's real. You don't chase when she withdraws. You allow space. You stay whole. Because real masculinity isn't constant noise. It's reliable presence. And that presence is what creates the most addictive pattern in her. Mind you, you don't spike her emotions and disappear. You don't come on strong and fade. You create a low hum of masculine energy that never leaves. And in that hum, that rhythm, her femininity finally has room to relax, open, and attach. She may be drawn to drama in the short term, but she falls for rhythm in the long term. And the men who master this don't just create attraction, they create gravity. Because in a world full of inconsistency, your reliability becomes her romance. Number 5. Protective energy. Safety plus strength is her feminine unlock. At the deepest level of her biology, a woman isn't seeking excitement. She's seeking containment. Not to be controlled, but to be held, emotionally, energetically, physically. And when she meets a man who exudes protective energy, something shifts in her body. She starts to breathe differently. Her voice softens. Her guard drops. This doesn't come from puffed-up ego or forced masculinity. It comes from a quiet, unshakable presence that tells her, no matter what you bring, your storm, your spark, your silence, I will not flinch. And that is rare. Most men mistake protective energy for being a fixer or rescuer. They try to solve, comfort, explain, but that isn't what she wants. What she truly craves is stability in your spirit. She wants to feel she can be her full emotional self, without causing you to crumble, chase, or flinch. This is why feminine energy often tests men with chaos. She doesn't want drama. She wants to know, can he handle me? Can he hold the emotional current I bring without losing himself? And when you do, you become the one thing she didn't know she needed: safe strength. Protective energy shows up in 3 invisible ways. Emotional steadiness. You don't ride her emotional roller coaster. You allow it, witness it, respond with presence, not panic. Energetic grounding. Your tone is slow. Your posture is open. Your movements are deliberate. You are the anchor in the moment, not the leaf in the wind. Psychological acceptance, you don't shame her emotions. You don't try to fix what she feels. You hold space for her experience without needing to change it. Here's how to embody it in action. Don't interrupt emotional expression. If she's upset or intense, just listen. Nod. Hold eye contact. Let her finish. You don't need to win or correct. Slow your breathing. The fastest way to control a room is to control your breath. The moment your breath is deep and steady, hers will unconsciously match. Speak less. Mean more. Protective energy is not about lecturing or explaining. It's about choosing fewer words with deeper intention. Also, if she cries, don't rush in. Sit with it. Offer your hand, not your analysis. Don't fight it. Watch her. Ground her. Let your silence be the container. If she tests your boundaries, enforce them with calm, not anger. Say no once. Let your stillness speak louder than your frustration. And over time, something magical happens. She stops performing. She stops hiding. She starts unfolding. Her femininity deepens because she feels safe in your frame, not because you overpower her, but because you refuse to collapse under her weight. This doesn't make you nice. It makes you irreplaceable. Because in a world of reactive men and conditional love, the one who holds her storm without trying to change the weather becomes the man she dreams of long after you've left the room. This is protective energy, and it doesn't need armor. It needs presence. Number 6, emotional framing, how to frame every moment as intentional and attractive. There is one secret that separates magnetic men from everyone else. It's not their looks. It's not their words. It's not even their status. It's their ability to frame reality. Women aren't just listening to what you say, they're feeling how you say it. They're absorbing your body language, your tone, your pace, your pauses. And from all that, they're deciding, what does this moment mean? This is what we call emotional framing, and it's the superpower of truly masculine men. Imagine two men in the same conversation. One reacts quickly. He explains himself. He tries to correct her misunderstandings. He changes his tone to make her like him. The second man listens. He smiles once. He speaks slowly. He doesn't justify. He reframes. He leads the moment without rushing it. Which one does she feel safer with? Which one commands attraction? Always the one who frames the moment. Because emotional framing isn't control, it's directional leadership. It means you hold the meaning of the experience, not her mood, not the setting, not the reaction. And when you hold the meaning, you hold the power. Women crave this in a man, not because they want to be led blindly, but because they want to feel safe surrendering. And surrender is only possible when they believe the man in front of them won't collapse under pressure. Here's how to frame emotionally like a master. Set the tone from the first moment. Whether it's playful, calm, intense, or intimate, begin with your own emotional energy. Don't take on hers. Decide what this moment means before it starts. Are you here to connect? To enjoy? To lead? That decision becomes the silent gravity that pulls her in. Never explain when challenged. Reframe instead. If she asks, "Are you always this quiet?" You don't apologize. You say, "I just like to watch the room before I speak." Use pauses deliberately. A man who pauses before he speaks signals internal confidence. You're not rushing to fill silence because you own it. Speak in short, intentional sentences. Eliminate fluff. Let your words land. When she feels the weight of your sentences, she believes in your direction. What this creates is emotional reality. Women don't fall in love with logic, they fall in love with the feeling they get in your presence. And that feeling is created by the frame you hold. So if you enter a moment thinking, "I hope she likes me," she feels uncertainty. If you enter a moment thinking, "This is going to be fun," she feels ease. If you enter a moment thinking, "Let's see how she fits into my world," she feels value. Because your energy teaches her how to respond. Here's one more truth. Women often test your emotional frame not to break it, but to feel it. They want to know, can this man hold the weight of my emotion? Can he stay steady when I push back? And when you pass that test, you move from interesting to unforgettable. Emotional framing is what makes ordinary moments feel extraordinary. It's what makes her say, "There's something about him." It's what builds intimacy without effort. And the men who master this don't just date more women, they shape the emotional memories women replay for years. You've just unlocked the 6 most powerful forces behind deep female attraction, none of which require money, fame, or flash. Let's pause and realize something. These traits are rare not because they're hard to understand, but because most men are too distracted to embody them. Now you know better. You've discovered that directional confidence makes her want to follow your lead, not because you dominate, but because you know where you're going. Social fluidity lets her see you through the eyes of others and gives her nervous system the signal. This man can be trusted. Grounded humor disarms her, not through performance, but through presence. It tells her she's safe to let her guard down. Consistency is your quiet seduction strategy. The rhythm her emotions can rest in. It's not romantic. It's irresistible. Protective energy unlocks her deepest femininity, not with control, but with containment. You hold her chaos without fear. Emotional framing lets you guide every moment, shaping not just what happens, but how she remembers it. And now it's yours. No, you don't need to master them overnight, but you do need to start living them. Because these traits don't come from tactics. They come from being a man who doesn't need external power because he already owns internal mastery. This is what every grounded, stoic, high-value man radiates. Not through noise, through presence. Not through control, through certainty. Not through wealth, through weight. And the men who get this, they don't chase attraction. Beg for validation? They become the gravitational field women can't escape. If you've made it this far, I already know who you are. You're not here to be entertained. You're here to become unstoppable. So drop that in the comments. If you made it to the end, comment unstoppable to claim that identity right now. Subscribe to this channel if you want more deep insights, not distractions. Like this video so more men can access clarity in a world full of noise. Share it with the one man in your life who needs to break free from surface-level advice. Because when you support this channel, you don't just help us grow. You help thousands of men stop guessing and start becoming. This isn't just a video. It's a manual for masculine mastery. Thank you for watching. Now walk forward with your new identity, quiet, grounded, respected, desired. Because from now on, you're the man she feels before she understands.